Everyone talks about Bali or Phuket, but we think that neither of these are the best beach towns in Southeast Asia. Instead, in this video, we're going to be comparing two amazing beach towns, Da Nang in Vietnam and Penang in Malaysia.
Watch till the end because we will reveal where we would most likely move back tomorrow if we had the opportunity.
Let's start off with the initial vibe that you get among both these cities. We found Da Nang to be low-key cool, and it really grows on you over time. It's not super quiet and not super busy either. You would see a lot of digital nomads around, lots of retirees, lots of tourists, especially in some of those hotspots. A lot of scooters humming around, and by the way, which is one of the best ways to, travel within Da Nang. And Highlands Coffee, Vietnam's Starbucks, pretty much on every corner. One of the things that shocked us was it's actually very clean and very organized with massive sidewalks for people to walk on, and the roads are quite wide as well, especially the main roads. Obviously, if you go inside to some of the more narrow roads, you will find those old sort of rustic areas, but the main roads are pretty wide. And of course, you've got a whole bunch of beaches, with Mai An and Mai Khe being two most popular ones. Penang, on the other hand, is layered, but as soon as you come here, you sort of feel that this place is historic and it's super green. It's got a lot of big apartment buildings as well, and you've also got that historic town of Georgetown. Overall, Penang also is a fantastic city, and I feel that Penang is a very nice mix between the old and the new. You've got some very modern condos as well as the old town and hawker stalls and all of that. It sort of has a really nice blend. Overall, I feel Da Nang is up and coming, whereas Penang already knows what it is. We wanted to thank all of you for continuing to watch our videos, but we have noticed that a lot of you who do watch our videos have not subscribed to our channel yet.
We make content about career break and slow travel the world to build a life of freedom that you desire to live. If you like that kind of content, do not forget to subscribe. So hit the button below. Cost of living. We are going to share the real numbers. Let's talk numbers because lifestyle starts with affordability. In Da Nang, we lived comfortably as a family of three on about 1,200 to 1,400 Australian dollars per month. Rent for a modern two-bedroom apartment near the beach, it can cost you around 400 Australian dollars per month. This also includes weekly cleaning. Eating out was insanely affordable. A banh mi was for $1 and a pho was for $2. Transport was mostly Grab or scooter rentals, which can cost about $60 per month. If we talk about healthcare, we paid out of pocket and visits were about $20 to $30 for basic private care. The only catch, international schools and imported goods. They are very pricey, especially if you have a small kid. Their diapers or foreign snacks can cost quite a bit. Now let's go to Penang. We have also lived there for 3 months, just like we have lived in Da Nang for 3 months, and we spent around 1,600 to 2,000 Australian dollars per month. Rent was higher and our condo came with a pool, a gym and a beach view, which costed about 800 to 1,000 Australian dollars per month. But food was still very affordable. You can eat out daily for under $5 a meal per person, and groceries were better stocked for expats. Healthcare is world-class and still cheap. Specialist visits at Island Hospital were around 40 to 70 Australian dollars. The international schools cost vary more but are slightly more accessible here. So overall, Da Nang is much more cheaper for short-term life. But according to me, I think Penang gives you better value for your money if you are looking for long-term comfort, especially if you are planning to stay there for 1 year or more.
Okay, next up, let's talk logistics. So visas and residencies. If you want to come for a short period of time, you can basically get their tourist visa. A lot of passport holders can come into Malaysia and stay for 3 months with no hassles, but make sure that you check whether your passport is on that list. If you want to stay for longer, you can do a visa run, but obviously it's a gray area and definitely we haven't done it, but we know of people who have done it, but so you do it at your own risk. The next option is that Malaysia now has introduced their digital nomad visa. Pretty straightforward. You get it for a year, and then you can extend it for another year. You just have to meet a couple of requirements. Number one, you have to generate your income from overseas and do not get a job in Malaysia. And number two is you've got to show that you earn around 24,000 US dollars annually. But one of the most popular ones is their Malaysia My Second Home visa, which is also known as MM2H. That one is layered and has got a few options. You can get it for 5 years, 10 years, or even get the permanent residency. Every one of them has different requirements But effectively what it is, you've got to put in some money into a Malaysian bank, and it's just a way for them to inject foreign currencies into their country, but in return they allow you to stay here, but you have certain conditions. You can buy properties and things like that. We did do a visa around that. We'll link it for you in the description.
Let's talk about life with kids or without kids if you are just a couple or a solo person. Honestly, we found both the cities to be family friendly, but in very different ways. In Da Nang, the beach life is unreal for little kids. White sand, no crowd, and a calm rhythm. But international schooling is limited and expensive. Most expat families either homeschool or opt for niche international schools or base themselves in Hanoi instead, where there are more schools available. The parks are minimal, playgrounds are rare, and while locals are lovely with kids, there's less in a way of a structured family services. Now, if you look at Penang, it's a different ball game altogether. International schools are abundant, ranging from Montessori to British curriculum to IB. Our daughter went to a small, nurturing preschool, 400 Australian dollars per month. We've done a video, I will link it up here for you. There are parks, malls with play zones, affordable babysitters, and a huge expat family community. Plus, you can find help at home through nannies, there are tutors, there are cleaners, and it is much more easier to find help over here because often they come with strong English. Now, even if you don't have kids, Penang still wins for daily conveniences. Services just work over here. You need groceries delivered, it can be done within minutes. You need a pediatrician who can speak English, that's sorted. It's much more easier living in Penang without the language barrier.
So between these two beach towns, who wins? It really depends on you. But if you are a single digital nomad or a couple on a budget, I think Da Nang would be best because it's very affordable and Vietnam has some amazing places to visit. But if you are a retiree or a family who really wants slow living and great educational options for their children, I think Penang would be better. For us, if we were to give an opportunity to relocate or move to one of these cities, we really loved Da Nang, but the only reason why we would choose Penang is because of the school options for our child.
This video is a comparison about beach towns, but let's look at a video where we talk about the cities. So we've done another video where we talk about KL versus Bangkok, and I will link it up here for you. That's all for today. We'll see you next week. Till then,
Bye.
Bye-bye.